name is Ryan Hartranft, and this oral presentation is based on the recent private business sector corruption scandal of GlaxoSmithKline versus the Chinese government. In recent headlines, GlaxoSmithKline was fined the highest amount ever in Chinese history, almost $500 million after the depths of its corruption scandal broke loose. It all started when a head of GlaxoSmithKline, Mark Riley, was caught up in a sex tape scandal. Apparently somebody had planted a hidden camera in his Shanghai apartment that captured video footage of him and his girlfriend and was subsequently used in a bribery attempt at GlaxoSmithKline directors. In response, GlaxoSmithKline hired China Wise, an investigative firm, employees Peter Humphreys and Yu Yingxing. They focused their search on an ex-GlaxoSmithKline employee who is now an influential businesswoman in China, and the two of them both found themselves in prison for 2.5 years for Mr. Humphreys and 2 years for his wife Yu Yingxing after they were charged and found guilty of violating data protection laws. You might ask, why China? Well, over the last decade, every industry has been focusing on China because of its 1.8 billion population and a rising middle class that can afford expensive drugs, cars, clothing, everything you can think of. And in response, David Zuigzig, the director of the Center on China's Transnational Relations at the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, says everyone bribes, Glaxo just got caught. So apparently that has been the modus operandi of doing business in China. After Peter Humphreys and his wife Yu Yingxing were sentenced to prison, the depths of GlaxoSmithKline's corruption broke loose when they were found to have given $280 million in bribes and kickbacks to Chinese doctors and healthcare officials, including prostitutes and reimbursement for training seminars that didn't even take place. As a result, Huang Fengpin, the former director of the Shanghai Municipal Commission of Health and Family Planning, was just sentenced to a 19-year prison term for corruption in China after they recovered envelopes stuffed with cash and gold bars in his car. And if you might asking why now, it's because of the result of the President Xi Jinping, who was elected or appointed in 2012 and has come down hard on the recent corruption scandal. Initially, GlaxoSmithKline tried to say that it was not a part of their company, that it was a few rogue Chinese officials, and before such allegations took place, they did their own internal investigation and found that GlaxoSmithKline was at no fault. Then, once Peter Humphreys, a head of GlaxoSmithKline, was caught up in the sex tape scandal and the depth of the corruption broke loose, it was obvious that GlaxoSmithKline was aware of the problem the entire time, as they were the ones that funded and promoted the prostitutes, or bathhouses as they tried to call them, and expensive dinners. So it shows a emerging trend in foreign companies in how they do business, or I shouldn't say foreign companies, foreign nations, and how companies do business with them. It's like water. Corruption will fill any void that it crosses, and this is a clear case of that. Thank you.